I am your host, Heather Vickery. For those of you who are new here, I am a transformation coach that helps you go from where you are to where you want to be by learning to deeply and completely know, like, and trust yourself, and then build a successful life with ease and embodied joy. Does that sound like something maybe you'd be interested in? I know it's something I'm interested in. That's why I teach on it, coach on it, share this content with you all the time because it's been a game changer for me in my life. And I want to be able to help other people live an ease filled, joy filled life because you deserve it. You are worthy of it. You are born worthy of it. Stick with me today. We're going to chat. If you are in the room and you want to have conversation back and forth, please drop comments. I'm happy to answer those questions to the best of my ability and engage back and forth. At the end of the live show today, we are going to do an interactive EFT tapping meditation together. If you are not familiar with EFT, definitely stay. EFT tapping is emotional freedom technique, and we tap on all of the different meridian points on our face and our body to help us release that which no longer serves us and reprogram ourselves to be aligned in the ways that we most desire being aligned. Again, ease and joy. Ease and joy, ease and joy. And I have to say this, it's really important. Joy, hope, rest, ease, these are part of the revolution. They are required, necessary parts of being part of change and growth and hope and possibility. We have to embody them. Joy is resistance. Rest is resistance. And I just left a good friend having coffee with a friend. And actually, it was such a joyful morning. It's a beautiful fall day here in Chicago. We sat outside. We went to the Whirlwind Coffee Shop in Oak Park, Illinois. And I'm giving them props in case anybody wants to, because 100% of their profits go towards local nonprofit organizations. Where you spend your hard earned money matters. And it brings more joy to be able to support a place like that that's bringing joy to the community that you live in. Sitting outside, having a great conversation, working on ways we can be part of the resistance together. We can grow our communities, be successful with ease together. I just feel so cared for. And that's exactly what today's topic is. Today, we're talking about the energy costs for being a caregiver. We're talking about um, the cost of caring without receiving. I'm going to turn that off. Sorry for anybody who just saw my big old finger on YouTube or LinkedIn. I apologize. Um, this is important, right? This really matters a lot. Um, all of this kind of came about because I did a workshop, a community workshop, a change maker event for an organization that I'm a member of a couple of weeks ago. And I talked about, so this is an organization that supports retreat hosts, retreat venues, retreat leaders. And I am one of those. I have a retreat coming up in Costa Rica in January, this coming January, 2026. Um, and I talked about how I have personally used subconscious reprogramming to keep myself calm and grounded and balanced while hosting this retreat, while planning and selling this retreat, which can be really immensely stressful work. And at the end of it, I took everyone through a guided EFT tapping meditation, just like I'm going to do with you at the end of our time here together today. And one of our attendees just felt very emotional after that. And I asked if they wanted to share what they were experiencing. And the response was simply that they're always the one giving care and they never take the time to receive care. Y'all, that's the energy exchange. That is often the cost of caregiving. We forget to take care of ourselves or allow other people to take care of us, and that is not okay. It is not something that is sustainable. I realize I'm never the one being cared for. Can you identify with that? Do you ever see that in yourself? You don't maybe you're the kind of caregiver that just goes and goes and goes, and you're always giving, and you're not really thinking about making space for being cared for, making space to care for yourself. Or maybe you're one of those caregivers that actively pushes against being cared for. That happens a lot, y'all. where like we are so ingrained in being the service provider and the caregiver, we don't even have any idea how to receive. Comment ways to cope. Okay, can you clarify that question for me? Caring without receiving. Comment ways to cope. I need to know more about what you mean. But what we're here to talk about is how we can open ourselves up to being receptive to care, giving ourselves care, prioritizing ourselves, allowing other people to show up for us. So, this particular um, workshop attendee that I mentioned is joining us in Costa Rica because they want to be cared for. They want to be part of a space that allows them to be cared for, to rest, to reconnect with their inner voice, to slow down, right? This really landed for me because I see people all day, every day that think everything has to be hard, that think they have to sacrifice themselves, of themselves all the time in order to be worthy. They have to check all of these boxes before they can allow themselves to rest or take time for themselves or nurture themselves. And it's just not true. You can actually be very successful and you can be a very successful caregiver while still embodying ease and rest and joy and prioritizing time for yourself. You know, we are the caregivers, we are the leaders, we are the community members who hold things together, right? We open the doors, we hold the spaces, we lead the teams, we run the households, we carry the emotional labor. We're always doing the thing, but caring for ourselves and allowing other people to care for us so often just never gets prioritized. And the cost of constantly putting ourselves last, it isn't just exhaustion and burnout, it's complete disconnection. We disconnect from our joy, we disconnect from our intuition, we disconnect from our bodies, we disconnect from our purpose. When we do that, when we disconnect from our joy, our intuition, our bodies, our purpose, we are not the caregivers we think we are. We don't have the solid foundation required to support the people we want to support in the ways that we want to support them. So yeah, it's like the oxygen mask effect. Certainly it is, right? Most of you have been on an airplane, put your own mask on before you help your child. It's the same thing. Now, there are two different levels here. There are two different things we're talking about here. One is taking care of ourselves, carving out time to prioritize ourselves and take care of ourselves. And the other one is opening ourselves up and allowing ourselves to be cared for by others. There can be an awful lot of unconscious emotional blocks to allowing ourselves to be cared for. I face this one a lot myself. I really feel this one a lot on my own because there's a lot of vulnerability in allowing yourself to be cared for. For some of us, we feel like there's a lot of risk in it. What if they hurt me? What if they don't take care of me the way I deserve to be cared for? What if I become dependent on them? Like a lot of different layers there. I am not suggesting we turn ourselves inside out and let somebody baby us, but we can be nurtured. We can set boundaries. We can ask for support and help. And when we do that, we allow the people on the other side the opportunity to show up for us, to care for us, to honor us, to listen to us, to hold us up and love us. It's a really big deal. When I was going through my divorce, I had no choice, but I had to lean on my community, mostly of other moms, to help me with childcare, pickup, drop off, parties, things like that, because I didn't have the support that I'd had before. And because I was building my business back up, I had to do a lot of traveling. And it felt really uncomfortable at first. Um, but learning to ask for help and having people then say, yes, I'm happy to help you, led me to feeling like I was part of something bigger. I was part of a community. And it was really a beautiful opportunity. And then when those folks needed support and help, I was able to joyfully give that back to them within capacity, right? So for everybody, we have to believe that um we only give of ourselves to the degree with which we have something of ourselves to give. It's really important to make sure you prioritize nurturing yourself so that you can be the community caregiver, the leader, service provider that you want. In the instance that I was talking about before, um, this particular person in the workshop was also a coach, also helping other people live their most healthy, aligned life. That's a really big deal. We are the people helping the world be a happier, more aligned place. It's a lot of responsibility. It's wonderful responsibility. I feel so lucky all the time that I get to do this work and help people have a successful life with ease, to be embodied joy, to live with embodied joy, to be hopeful, to prioritize rest, because this is the energetic shift, right? How many of you felt it on Tuesday? Election night in the US, in many, many cities and states across the country. Not mine. I'm in Illinois. We did not have any elections, but that's okay because I could feel it. And I literally did feel a timeline shift, an energetic shift. We are moving at what feels slowly, but is actually a fairly rapid pace from an old patriarchal approach. It's a scam, y'all. The hustle harder, the work harder, pull yourself up from the bootstraps. It's all a fucking scam. You don't have to do that to have success. You can have success with ease. You can be an aligned leader, community builder, entrepreneur, whatever that is, and still have ease and embody joy and prioritize yourself and prioritize rest. That can look however you want it to look. But at first, it requires more than anything, it requires you to recognize that you don't have to do it the way it's always been done, that you want to do it differently. Most of the time, when clients find me, whatever's been acceptable so far is just no longer acceptable anymore. And they don't really have the answers. They're not exactly sure how they want to shift and change, but they know something has to shift and change. So we uncover those things together. See, I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think or what to do or how to do it. I'm here to help you discover those answers within yourself. Build your own resource kit, your own toolkit of ways to support yourself and show up for yourself. Take radical responsibility for yourself because we can't change or control anyone but ourselves. And all of the things that are happening around us, all of that noise, all of that chaos, it's information, but we can't control and change it. So you want to take in that information and say, given what I know, who do I want to be in this moment? How do I want to be in this moment? What intentional action do I want to take? That's taking radical responsibility for yourself. And that has to include prioritizing your own well being, allowing yourself to be cared for, and then caring for yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup because newsflash, empty cups don't pour. There's nothing to pour. It's empty. You don't want that to be you. I know you don't want that to be you. And all of this is at the heart of the ease pathway, which is a way of leading and living that invites us to reconnect with ourselves through curiosity, alignment, sustainability, and embodiment. It's about remembering that peace and purpose don't come from pushing harder. They come from creating enough space to hear ourselves. The ease pathway is how I support clients to go from where they are to where they want to be and doing it with embodied ease. Doesn't that sound exciting? It's really fun. So, this is like all about the act of returning to yourself. You can't keep doing this powerful, important work that you're doing, this world shifting work, if you don't prioritize your own care and first before everybody else's. You have to stay grounded in order to be inspired and to be alive in your purpose. You have to be grounded. Real self care begins when you're willing to explore what's really going on beneath the busyness, beneath the surface, beneath the limiting decisions, the limiting emotions, thoughts, patterns, beliefs, behaviors that are absolutely sabotaging you. So if you are somebody who you know actively resists either taking time prioritizing yourself and caring for yourself or allowing other people to care for you, this is something we want to explore. We want to sort of peel back those onion layers and figure out why that is. And I'm asking you right now to think about what would be different if you allowed yourself to be a priority, if you allowed yourself to practice self-care and to allow other people to care for you. What would shift? What would change? What would be different? Take a second to think about that. Is that something you would like to have happen? Would your life be better if you allowed that? And if you're feeling even an inkling of yes, even if it's followed up with a but, I can't, what if, all of that, it's okay. Even a little bit of yes there opens up awareness and we can start to be curious about it. We can start to take it apart. It's really cool. When you live from ease, you stop chasing balance. Balance is a little bit elusive, and you start living in rhythm instead. So it isn't the scales of justice. Balance isn't the scales of justice. It isn't equal parts to this and equal parts to that, but it's what feels right in the moment. Moving through, recognizing the information your body's giving you, and when you want to push and when you want to pull and when you want to rest and when you want to ask for help and when you want to be, a hardcore badass, leader, whatever that looks like for you. It's realizing that slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. Ooh, does that sit with you? Slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. It means coming home to yourself. I love that one. So, my invitation to you, if this found you at exactly the right time, if you've been running on empty and you know that it's time to refill your cup, my invitation is to you is to connect with me in different ways. You can join me on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Central for open office hours. Ask me anything office hours. We can talk about anything you want. Hey Samantha, how are you? Um I can support you in lots of different ways, but I want you to just start to be aware of your movement through life. Where are you putting up these blocks? Where are you refusing to allow care to come into you or taking the time to prioritize it for yourself? If you are looking for a big way to support yourself, have a break, reclaim your peace, take some real rest, take some time for yourself to get grounded and embodied. We still have a few spots open for my Costa Rica retreat in January 2026. I would love to talk with you about it. This is a really incredible high-end luxury experience right in the middle of the jungle. The rooms are gorgeous. The food is anti-inflammatory. It's all local. It's all gluten-free, plant-based, dairy-free food. That may freak you out if you're not a healthy, all-natural eater, but I can promise you it is the best food I've ever had in my life. Um, Absolutely, I felt better, like anti-inflammatory, absolutely amazing. We're using all sorts of indigenous practitioners to learn all sorts of things about ourselves. We're gonna do blue clay ceremonies by the river's edge, cacao ceremony, breath work. I'm going to take folks through somatic movement every single day. We're going to connect with our bodies in beautiful ways. I will be leading group hypnosis, group EFT tapping, conscious inquiry, all of that, plus lots and lots of space to just be, to exist, to be cared for, to be loved, to be honored just for existing. So if you're interested in Costa Rica, it's at the end of January 2026. We just have a few spots left. You can send me a DM. You can go to the link in my bio, find out all about it. Would love to have you join us. But if you're looking for smaller things, again, Tuesdays, open office hours, ask me anything office hours, just register, it's free, come and ask questions. I offer subconscious shift sessions. So an hour and a half where we work on one very specific thing. I have programs and packages to support you if you want to work on things on a longer scale. And one of the really fun, easy things you can do is get human design focused subliminal audios. I have those, follow the links in my bio. Subliminal audios are awesome because they work on reprogramming your mind while you're off busy doing other things, while you're working, while you're doing the dishes, doing laundry, going for a walk, working out, whatever it is. And they just quietly shift things in the background. So I spent most of this year creating an entire content library of human design focused subliminal audios for your type, strategy, authority, profile lines, environment, and all of the centers, both defined and undefined. So if you don't know your human design already, hello, Lauren. How are you, gorgeous? If you don't already know your human design, you can pull a free human design chart on my website. Again, you'll get the link in my bio. Get your free human design chart, and then you can start working with ways to live into your highest self, to honor your highest self, to meet yourself where you are, work with what you've got because you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to be fixed. I just want you to live into your highest self, to be successful with ease, to lead with embodied joy, and knowing yourself, liking yourself, and trusting yourself is the first step to doing that. Because your energy exchange, the cost of giving without allowing yourself to receive, that's not sustainable. This energy exchange needs to go both ways. And when it does, life actually begins to move with ease. This is how you embody the ease. It's super exciting stuff. Okay, so now we're going to do that EFT tapping that I promised you. And I'm really excited to do this. Um, I'm not sure how many of you in the audience have done EFT tapping before, but it is a really fantastic opportunity, an easy way to show up for yourself. And you can use these tools whenever you need to. So, when we're doing tapping, I want you to make sure that you're sitting with your feet planted firmly on the ground. And then I want you to make sure that your butt is planted firmly in your seat. Hi, Margaret. Um, Take a minute to like roll your shoulders, roll your neck, really just sort of settle into your body. And then take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Put your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your left. This does not always come with EFT tapping, but I do this in every one of my EFT tapping sessions. And repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind. Thank you. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. It's a prayer to yourself. It's forgiveness to yourself. It's love for yourself. It's gratitude for yourself. Feel that warmth in your chest. That is you reconnecting with yourself. All right. Now, very quickly, just follow along the parts. We start by releasing the negative on our karate chop point. We do inner eye, outer eye, under the nose, under the mouth, collarbone. Find your collarbone and go just to that soft spot below. Or you can do it like this, under the arm, either arm, doesn't matter, or both if you want a bear hug, and then the top of your head. So we're going to start on the karate chop point. And follow along with me and repeat the words either out loud or in your mind. Even though I am always the one caring for others, I choose to remember that I need care also. Even though I've learned to give endlessly and rarely receive, I'm ready to allow care to flow both ways. Even though I sometimes feel guilty for resting or prioritizing myself, I know that rest is required for healthy leadership. And it's safe for me to be cared for by myself and others. All right, we're going to move to the inner eyebrow. You can do either side or both. I spend so much time pouring into others. I forget that my energy is sacred also. It's safe for me to need and receive care from myself and others. Side of the eye. I've been moving fast for so long. My body keeps whispering, slow down. I'm finally ready to listen. Under the eye. I don't have to earn peace by doing more. Peace meets me when I soften and slow down. I choose to value myself as deeply as I value others. I choose to value myself as deeply as I value others. Under the nose, it's safe to put myself back on the circle of care. It's safe to pause without guilt. Resting doesn't mean falling behind. It means coming home to myself. Under the mouth, I trust my rhythm. I lead from ease instead of effort. A regulated nervous system is part of my success story. Collarbone. Every time I slow down, I realign with what matters. Every breath I take fills my cup a little bit more. I am worthy of care, connection, and calm. It is safe for me to be successful with ease. Top of the head. It is safe for me to be successful with ease. I choose to sustain my energy. I allow myself to be cared for. I prioritize myself with ease. I embody ease, peaceful, powerful, and fully resourced. You can gently stop tapping. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. That shift is powerful. Notice what feels different, even if it's subtle. This is you coming home to yourself, connecting with yourself, remembering who you are. And this is what it means to live from ease, with ease, to care, to lead, to rest without needing to earn it. And you can return to a practice like this anytime you feel overextended or disconnected from your own energy. I do EFT tapping in all of my weekly live shows now. It's a whole new thing. I offer EFT tapping in my Spark Collective, which is an $18 a month community membership with intuitive journal prompts that are led specifically by human design transit. So energy that's open, active, and alive. There's community, there's support, there's engagement, there's accountability, journal prompts, EFT tapping, and an entire content library of ways that you can show up for yourself in 10 or 15 minutes or less a couple times a week will change everything. So if you're curious to know about the Spark Collective, follow the link in my bio. It's only $18 a month. Remember that you are allowed to receive. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be cared for. You are allowed to care for yourself simply because you exist, because you're worthy of all of those things because you exist as a human. Don't forget that. Before we go, I'm going to pull a Create Brave card. The Create Brave cards are a deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my friend Rachel Swanson. She's amazing. There's an entire guidebook. I'm not going to read from it today. We have the focus word, the affirmation, coaching guidance, and then create brave prompts, things that you can do. But remember that manifestation isn't about declaring something and it magically appears. Manifestation is about declaring something and then shifting the way you show up in the world to make it appear. So what I love about the Create Brave deck, the manifestation cards, is that it just helps you think of something in a unique, creative, out of the box way. Oh, the card that fell. I don't know about y'all, but if you're card people, tarot, affirmation, oracle, any of that, we always shuffle until the card that wants us comes out and jumps out at us. So I'm going to lean down and pick it up. Actually, it looks like we got two. So let's see what we got. Ooh, we got shift and reframe. And I love them both. Reframe, I look at this situation from another point of view. So what does this mean for you today? What is it telling you today? What is speaking to you today about reframe? What do you need to reframe? I look at this situation from another point of view. I was just talking about this with my friend Jay earlier today when we went out for coffee. Lots of things can be true at once. Right? So you can look at things from one lens and one perspective, and that may be true, but what if it's not the only thing that's true? What if something else can be true? What if lots of things can be true? And which one do you want to follow? Which one do you want to believe in? Which one gives you a sense of hope and possibility? And then the other one is shift. And this is a really powerful. I am not stuck. I can change my mind, my path, and my plan. I am not stuck. I can change my mind, my path, and my plan. Just because you are somebody who is a service provider or a caregiver for others does not mean that you cannot care for yourself and open up to being cared for by others. That energy flow has to go both ways if you want to live with ease and be successful with ease. I love this. I love it for you. I love it for all of us. Thank you all so very much for being here. Again, I'd love to have you join me on Tuesday for open office hours. The link is in my bio if you want to get that link. I'll be back next Thursday with a brand new episode of Live with Heather Vickery. I am so honored to be on this journey with you. If we're not connected in all the places, make sure we're doing that. You can find me active on Substack, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also Blue Sky. I appreciate you. Today, I want to remind you, go out and choose yourself bravely and know that you can have success with ease. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for being here with me. What a delight. I hope I'll see you next week, and let's talk soon.